What's up, guys? So my name is Nick, and I'm gonna let this video play that'll share some of my story.
Hi, I'm Nick Warnke, founder and CEO of Warnke Windows, a division of Best Life Services Group, LLC. My journey to success wasn't a straight path. It was one of resilience, transformation, and a commitment to serve my community. In 2019, I was a graduate from Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge and their long-term men's treatment program after struggling for many years with opiate addiction. My life has had its share of ups and downs, but 4 years ago, I made a decision to rebuild from the ground up, with faith as my foundation and success as my vision. Early in my career, I took on the role of window program coordinator at ABC Supply in Coon Rapids, where I built a warranty and service department from scratch. Over the past 2 years, I've been working directly with contractors in storm restoration specializing in windows, roofing, and siding. Through this experience, I recognized a huge gap in the industry. Homeowners need access to high-quality window sales and service at a fair price without the hassle of high-pressure sales tactics and overpriced products. This is why I developed a patent-pending online quoting system, allowing homeowners to get pricing for window replacements from the comfort of their own home. No pushy salespeople, just simple, transparent pricing. Giving back is at the heart of everything I do. In my early recovery, I was a volunteer for almost 2 years at Twin Cities Wellness Center and Recovery Gym, coaching boxing classes for individuals in early recovery. I also serve as a voting member on the Anoka County Opiate Advisory Board, helping to fund programs that support those struggling with addiction within our own communities. At Warnke Windows, we're more than a business. We're a community-driven company that believes in fair pricing, quality service, and making a real impact. If you're looking for a hassle-free way to get new windows, visit warnkewindows.com. Scan the QR code.
4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, I was homeless, in and out of treatment. For years, I had chased recovery, relapsed, endless cycles. And so I've been that guy that says, like, my life is over. I've been the guy sitting in the back of an ambulance after an overdose, realizing that I almost didn't wake up. I've been that guy that has destroyed his relationship with his daughter and had to rebuild that from the ground up, and at a certain point had to surrender everything because there was no excuse for my actions. And until I owned up to all of it and realized that I had to quit blaming the world, because I'm not a victim. Never been a victim. The only thing I'm a victim of is my own stupidity, my own choices, and a victim of my own flesh, because I'm human. And until I surrendered all that over to God and trusted that there was some purpose to all this madness, all this pain. And it was like, there's a quote by C.S. Lewis. In the moment, it feels like nothing's changing. But when you look back, everything is different. And that's how I feel right now. Because just as much as I feel like I've come a long way right now, I still remember what it felt like to have absolutely nothing. To be cut off from my family, cut off from my friends. And when you spend a decade in addiction and suddenly decide to get your life together, that doesn't mean that you just get to jump back into being invited everywhere and being part of your old group. You know, that, like, everyone else has moved on with their life. They're married, have kids, you know, finished college. They've all, you know, like, you are rebuilding your life from the ground up. But within that is where the opportunity lies, because you now have a chance to, you're going to be changing anyway. Anybody that hits a rock bottom, which at some point when you're in addiction, they say in the recovery world, like, you get to the point where it's more painful to stay the same than it is to change. And when that scared gut fear that you have of changing and facing up to whatever music you have waiting for you, I promise you that once you face that music and you look at that part of yourself that you know exists that you don't want to look at, that part of yourself that you know how to recognize when it whispers certain things, and when you know to recognize and call that voice out and understand that the flesh is always going to bring you down, and he who wants to be first has to be last. So until you start thinking about other people and how you can surrender yourself over to a higher power, and these are the things that I had to continually remind myself. And everybody's path is different. So like, I can't say what path is right for anyone. I can just share my own experience and just let you know what's worked for me. And every day that I can wake up and just say, God, what do you have for me today? Let's get it. Let's get after it. And you start to see a vision for your life that's greater, where you can see yourself being the type of person that helps others, that helps lead others to this land that you're going to, this promised land that you've been climbing this mountain for so long. And if you're struggling and you've been climbing that mountain, just know that it's never too late to just get back up. No matter how you've fallen, the worst thing you can do is just jump off. Because I know all too well what it is to be a victim of your own self-sabotage, where you think you just can't do it. You think in your mind you're trying to figure it out because you have to understand and know how it's going to work out before you even try, and that's not the way to do it. I know the yearning to have that comfort of control and that illusion, because it's a facade. We don't have that control. We're never in control. And the sooner I realize that I'm never in control, and I swear it's like living in a supernatural, whole different world when you can try to walk by in your faith and without your sight and just surrender every day. Miracles happen. Solutions to problems that you would have lost weeks of sleep over before are now solved by faith, because all of a sudden God is bringing people into your life. He's making things happen in your life. I'm not doing this of my own. Like, I couldn't be creating all these websites and doing, like filing for a patent, for this meta-measure system that I have. Like, I couldn't do it like this. I'll show another video here.
Welcome to Warnke Windows and Custom Home Remodeling, where innovation meets craftsmanship. Our mission? To revolutionize the home remodeling industry with cutting-edge AI technology and expert services. And we're inviting you to be part of this exciting journey. Home remodeling can be frustrating. Mismeasurements, costly delays, and inefficient processes. Contractors struggle with outdated methods, and homeowners face unnecessary expenses. The industry needs a smarter solution. Meet Metanoia AI, the game changer in precision measurement technology. Our AI-driven tool eliminates errors, streamlines processes, and saves time and money for homeowners and contractors alike. Paired with our expert remodeling services, we're setting a new standard for efficiency and quality. The home improvement market is booming, valued at over $500 billion in the U.S. alone. In the Twin Cities, remodeling demand is at an all-time high, with homeowners prioritizing smart, energy-efficient upgrades. With the right technology and expertise, we're perfectly positioned to dominate this space. Warnke Windows combines a powerful, multi-revenue approach, offering high-quality home remodeling services, licensing our Metanoia AI technology, and creating scalable SaaS solutions for contractors. It's a winning formula for...
I don't know. I got this idea last year for this system on the way back from a trade show where I got the idea from a roofing application using AI, and I just, with my experience built out this AI system. And, now I'm like getting investors lined up. I've got people calling me to make, help get me off the ground, like all these things are happening. And it's like, they're all believers. There's no coincidence that all these people and these pieces that are fitting together all have to do with other people that are believers and that are, doing it for the right reasons. And I like was able to cut off everyone else in my life that was holding me back, or like, causing pitfalls, or people that just like were not healthy for me to be around. And there's always wolves in sheep's clothing. People that on the outside, they might look, amazing, successful, might even go to church every single Sunday, and behind closed doors, and when it gets down to certain things revolving around money and profit and loss and all these other things and overhead, you start to see the real colors of certain people. And so like, I made a commitment to myself that whatever abundance I come into, I'm going to just put it back in, and I'm going to help everybody I can along the way. And since I've started doing that, I just like every day is a blessing. It's not always easy, even when I'm being tested. But that's how I'm getting stronger. That's the gym. That's the weight room. Those are push-ups, spiritual push-ups. Every time you run into the fire, rejoice when you face trials of various kinds, knowing that the testing of your faith has produced endurance. And you must allow that endurance to have a complete work so that you're lacking nothing. Book of James. And so I just, I pray that you guys, if you're struggling out there, don't give up. Don't stop. If you have a vision, if you feel that calling in your life where it's not a coincidence, maybe earlier on in your life it may have been, and sometimes a coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous for someone that's not ready yet. But when you are ready and you knock, he will answer that door, I promise you. Because I knocked, and there was times like this season, last year. This time last year was a really dark season for me. Like over the winter, going through like my first real breakup in recovery and my first relationship in recovery, and getting over that, like, I'm just like, I'm a very passionate person. And so like, I have to let go of a lot when I, like, I've always had that struggle. I look back through all my journals growing up and through my relapses and all of it, and it was always had to do with my codependency. It was like I was always chasing after this vision in my mind, and I would fall in love with this idea that I kept along for years. It was this idea of this woman that would become a wife, that was loyal, that was like, everything that was supposed to be, when, all my friends are getting married and like successful marriages and all this other stuff. And it's like, I was chasing after that for so long. And it's like when you go to the car dealership and you want a car too much, the dealer knows. You go and have that salesman come in, and if you want something too much, you're going to get taken advantage of. It's going to cost you way more than you should have to pay for something that's fair and honest and open, transparent. And so I realized that in order for me to get on an equal footing, to be equally yoked, I had to be real with myself and my own expectations and my own battles of, am I seeing what I want to see? Or is this really what I'm being called to, or what's being called in my life? Because it's really easy to see something when you want to see it, but seeing what's actually there is another story. And so that's where praying for discernment comes in, because it's just like knocking. Every time you knock, Lord, I need discernment. Lord, I need help. I need wisdom. Lord, I need endurance. Lord, I need strength. Lord, patience. Lord, humility, Lord, all of it. And it might not happen instantly. It might not happen that day. But if you keep knocking each day, all of a sudden you're going to look back one day and everything is different. So just don't jump off of that mountain you've been climbing off. You've spent so long climbing that mountain that it would be a shame to just give up. And so no matter where you are, who you are, if you're struggling with addiction, I promise you, if you're trying to find a way out and if you're knocking, just keep knocking. I promise you. Keep fighting. Keep punching back. Fentanyl will kill you. Fentanyl will kill you. I've lost way too many friends. I've came close way too many times. So I promise you, just keep knocking.